and we'll be driving and I'll hear from like the back of the car this random share the road, because we've gone past the sign that's like share the road. Like, he's so funny. Hi friends, and welcome back to AmandaMuse. So today's video, it's all about Jack. So Jack is 3, and I mean, he's 3. If you have a 3-year-old, if you've ever had a 3-year-old, if you know a 3-year-old, it's very exciting times. So a few days ago on Instagram, I was sharing with you guys some of the issues that we've been having with Jack and sleep, and it's been very challenging. What's kind of awesome is that actually from that Insta story, one of you guys messaged me with something that's worked for you to help with those types of sleep terrors and night issues, and we tried it and it worked. So I'm going to share with you what we did. Also, a big thanks to Pampers for sponsoring and collaborating with me on this video. I have used Pampers forever. Like, they've been my go-to diaper, and they've made some changes, and so I'm going to share with you what's going on there. But without further ado, let's get into a little update on my Jack Riviere. Jack River, 3 years old. Let's do this. So let's jump to the very first thing. So basically, when did this start happening? I want to say like 3 weeks ago. Really in conjunction with when the hot weather started to kick in. All of a sudden, these night terrors started to creep in. If you've never experienced a night terror, basically it's when a person, generally a child, wakes up in the night and they're very upset. There's usually a lot of crying, a lot of yelling, and the real like kicker is that there doesn't seem to be any specific thing that you can do to calm the child down, which is very stressful for a parent, especially if you were also sleeping and now you're both awake and confused and you've got this really upset child. It's pretty stressful. Long story short, one of you guys messaged me and said that your child was experiencing this type of thing, and what you found to be very beneficial was that they just sleep in a diaper. And I thought about this and I was like, oh my gosh, that makes perfect sense. I'm gonna try it, because truth be told, it's hot, and the temperature in our house, as much as I have air conditioning and it stays fairly cool, in our upstairs it's a little bit warm because it's an older house and the insulation just isn't what it should be. I basically that night convinced him to not wear pajamas, which is a big deal because Jack really likes long sleeves, and he wore his Pampers Baby Dry size 6 diaper, which he usually wears. Like, we have daytime diapers and we have nighttime diapers, and he always wears his Pampers diaper to bed. He even calls them nighttime diapers. It's the cutest thing you've ever seen. Mister, what kind of diapers do you wear at nighttime?
Zombie diapers. Nighttime diapers.
Nighttime diapers. Okay, let's go put it on. The nice thing with the Pampers Baby Dry is that they're very, very thin. And I think sometimes there's this misconception that a thin diaper means less absorbent. It's the opposite is true. So Pampers has come up with this new technology where thinner is better. Keeps the baby dry. I had the room at a nice cool temperature between the nice like 68 to 72 kind of situation. I had the white noise fan going, and he went back to bed, and I just waited. You know that moment you just wait as your child is falling back to sleep? And it worked. It was amazing. So long story short, the combination of him being dry and not hot, like his body temperature being cool, seemed to solve the problem. We're gonna go with that. So that's been working right now. It's still a struggle for me to get him out of his pajamas because he likes his pajamas. You know, he likes to have like long sleeves and blankets, like he's still in that mode. So that's probably the biggest thing I wanted to share, because sleep is everything. When your family is not sleeping, nobody's sleeping. Anyway, if you are experiencing that type of struggle right now where you're having night terrors, I find it can be related to a few things. With Esme, it was a huge life change and potty training. With Jack, it really seemed to be being wet and hot, like damp. And so that combination, now that I seem to have the solution, we're going with it. I would love to know in the comments, like, have you ever experienced night terrors with your kids? What worked for you? Let me know, let's share, because truthfully, if I hadn't shared that on Instagram, I never would have got the solution, and I would be very much more tired than I am now. Let's talk about food, because 3-year-olds, 5-year-olds, what do they eat? How do they live? I swear sometimes it's like this combination of air. Are they getting vitamins from the air? Like, how are they functioning? I would love it if they ate more things. I feel like I'm so bored with what I make for dinner, and I'm not motivated in that department, so I'm working on it. I am. Recently, Jack has started eating apples, and I'm like, what is happening? This is incredible. They have to be peeled and sliced, but he's consuming them and it's amazing. He's always eaten bananas, but this apple situation is awesome. And funny thing, Jack will actually drink my smoothies. And so I make a pretty heavy duty smoothie with protein powder and spinach and a lot of good stuff in there. And I always like try Mama's smoothie, and I gave it to him and he drinks it. Doesn't drink very much of it, but enough that I feel like he's getting some greens, he's getting some vitamins, so that always makes me super happy. The food situation is a struggle. I keep trying and I'm hopeful, and I so look forward to the day when I just make a meal and put it on the table and everybody eats it. Like I can't, will that happen? The last two updates are really about his development. And so something that's changed lately, and I mentioned this at the beginning, is that we've started a little bit of preschool because he's officially a preschooler. Like he turned 3 in March, kind of like 1 day a week, sometimes 2 days a week at preschool, and it's been going surprisingly well. It was a very tough transition because there were a lot of tears and he didn't want to go to school, and that whole like, now I'm at school and where's my mom and dad? And I was really worried because he has dropped his naps, and at this preschool they nap for a few hours in the afternoon. And I thought, how am I gonna make this work? Like, do I need to bring an iPad? Like, I don't know. But the reality is he has a great time. He is tuckered out and he has a nap when he's there, and it's amazing. And he eats his lunch like a big boy, and it's just really nice to see him be interacting with other kids. And he is a little bit more of my shy kid. And so I often refer to him as my little introvert, but I think maybe it's too soon to tell. It is too soon to tell. He's only 3. I don't quite know his personality fully, but he doesn't love all that attention, all of those kids, all of that vibe. And this preschool daycare provider is a friend of mine, and she is lovely, and she totally gets Jack, and she knows Jack, and anyway, it's just been a really, really enjoyable experience. And the last little update is just talking about his personality. First of all, he's a hoot. Like, if you're watching my Insta stories, if you're not, you are missing out because it's like a vlog, right? He loves knock-knock jokes. So for sure, the last like 20 minutes when they're stalling and they don't want to go to bed, we sit there telling knock-knock jokes. It's hilarious. He's a dude. He's like a total boy. He's into like the funny toilet humor. It's hilarious. He loves the trampoline. He likes to try swimming. Like, he's really getting into all of these fun things. He's totally rough and tumble. I'm always reminding him, like, I'm the mom. Stop being so rough, you know? And Jackie, how do you know that Daddy loves you?
Nobody loves you.
What? That wasn't a question. He loves road signs. Like, Mommy, what does that sign mean? And we'll be driving and I'll hear from like the back of the car this random share the road, because we've gone past the sign that's like share the road. Like, he's so funny. He's certainly 3, and there's like that whole land of like pushing boundaries and being his own boss and all of that. But I think what's dawned on me in the last like couple of weeks is that he is like a proper little boy. He's not a baby anymore. So before I wrap up this video, I'm curious, do you have a 3-year-old? Have you been experiencing any of these things? Because I feel like 3 and 4 and even 2 can be really tricky for a lot of kids. So leave me some comments below. Let me know how old your kids are. And you know, are you going through similar things? Like, are you starting preschool? Are they starting school? Because I know sometimes 3, like depending on when they're born, they're actually starting school. Like, there's a lot happening. And that's that. So 3-nagers, they do exist. I think they just come in different degrees of intensity. And a big thanks to Pampers for sponsoring this video. That's my little update on Jack, all of the things. I think we covered most basics, right? Like sleep, food, conversation, challenges, personality, school. Did I say all the things? I think I did. A couple things twice, you know. If you're new, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. I put out videos 3 times a week here on YouTube. All right, have a great day, guys. Bye. What is your name? What's your name?
Jackie.
Jackie. Jackie. Oh, I love you so.